This boy was smaller than a finger, yet he was the biological son of the giant king. Unlike his formidable and powerful father, he was born deaf and mute. Even though he was a prince, everyone openly mocked him without restraint. Every time he went outside, he got robbed, and this was already the 300th time they had left him standing there in only his underwear. Although everyone treated him like a fool, he was determined to become the greatest king of all. That day, the little Prince Boji went outside the city to play, and suddenly discovered a strange shadow stealing money. Boji got frightened. Just as he tried to run away, the shadow caught up to him. It demanded that Boji hand over his money, but Boji could not speak. He could only mumble "Ava, Ava" to indicate that he did not have any money. Only then did the shadow realize that Boji was deaf and mute, but strangely enough, even though they belonged to different species, they could communicate without barriers. This made Boji feel comforted, but the shadow did not care. It threatened Boji with a sword. If he had no money, then he should take off his clothes. So Boji, already experienced with this, took off his clothes and handed them to the shadow. Satisfied, the shadow told Boji to come back tomorrow and remember to bring more valuables. Boji nodded enthusiastically and happily ran back home. Soon, the next day arrived. Boji went to keep the appointment for the robbery. This greatly surprised the shadow. How could someone in the world be so happy about getting robbed? But what it did not know was that Boji only wanted a friend, and the shadow was the only person with whom he could communicate normally. From then on, Boji brought many valuable things for Kage every day. Little by little, the two became friends through these robberies. Kage became curious about the background of this foolish boy. So that day, after Boji left, Kage secretly followed him. He wanted to see who Boji really was. Then some civilians saw Boji standing there in only his underwear, and immediately realized he had been robbed again. Everyone gave him mocking looks, and even the children laughed at him. Although little Boji could not hear, he had learned how to read lips. Even knowing this, Boji still maintained a wide smile. That made Kage, the one responsible for it all, feel somewhat guilty. When Boji returned to the royal palace, Kage finally realized that this foolish boy was actually a prince. At that moment, Boji encountered his stepmother, the queen. She became furious seeing Boji half-naked every day, believing that he was damaging the dignity of the royal family, and if this continued, he would not be worthy of inheriting the throne. After saying this, she left with a look of disgust. Then Boji's teacher, Thomas, told him in sign language to quickly change clothes because his father, the king, wanted to see him. While Boji was changing clothes in his room, he finally could not hold it in anymore, and tears fell from his eyes. But in the blink of an eye, little Boji regained his smile. Then he ran toward his father's chambers. Kage, hiding nearby, witnessed all of this. Only then did he understand that Boji was not foolish at all. He was simply enduring everyone's ridicule in silence, while in reality he was suffering deeply inside. Boji struggled greatly just to open the door. His tall and mighty father looked at him lovingly. He deeply loved this son, who was smaller than his finger. In the past, he alone had wiped out an entire army of goblins. This kingdom had been built thanks to him, and yet even someone like him ranked only 7th among all the kings in the world. The path Boji had to walk was clearly even more difficult. With little time left to live, the king desperately wished for Boji to mature enough to inherit the throne, so he invited the kingdom's most skilled swordsman, Thomas, to become his teacher. But Boji was weak and lacked strength, and when Thomas saw that he could not even firmly hold a sword, his patience completely collapsed. He could only vent his frustration on the nearby wooden posts. At that moment, the proud second prince Daida approached. He expressed his wish to practice swordsmanship with his brother. The teacher noticed that the second prince possessed exceptional talent, and that was the disciple he truly wanted. Seeing that the teacher's attention was completely focused on his brother, Boji felt very resentful.